It's the Cy and Dani show.
Oh, oh.
The Cy and Dani show.
Oh, oh.
Oh, yeah. So we want to be singers, it seems.
Mm-hmm. But not really.
He's Cy.
I'm Cy. You're Dani.
Yes, I am Dani. So welcome to this week's Cy and Dani show.
Yay.
Take 2. So I really liked where we left off last time, the last episode around you coming out, and it just excited me about hearing more about your story, but I also know folks are curious about maybe my story too.
Yeah.
I want to talk more about you though.
It's funny because I feel like your story is queerer than mine.
How so?
Like, because you've been kissing girls.
Oh, I've been kissing girls. So the short of it is I've always been pretty queer, I would say. My first kiss was a girl, and then I proceeded to kind of kiss girls, grind with girls, kiss boys, grind with boys. You know, I liked it all, but I was way too young to be doing any of that. By the time I actually got of age to kind of do some stuff, that's when I got confronted with homophobia pretty bad. And being a Christian, well, I identified as Christian at that time in a way that made it so I couldn't be gay.
Yeah.
So that turned into self-hatred, that turned into a lot of homophobia towards myself as well as people close to me. And so it was a really painful kind of like transition through college. College was really hard because I was dating women hard, but I was lying about it. I was talking about being strictly dickly.
I was strictly dickly at one point too.
I wasn't no damn strictly dickly. What I was somebody who was queer and couldn't come out. I remember and have very vivid memories of watching the Ricky Lake show as a young girl. And this was when the topic would be like, oh, this woman was sleeping with this man who she later found out was actually a woman. That's how they would position it. And I remember watching it and being like, damn, I hope a woman tricks me. I hope she comes, you know, because I always wanted my both and.
Did I trick you?
Heck no. I felt like from very early on you said, I'm a gay man. And I was like, that's interesting because I see you more as a gay woman. And then through getting to know you more and more, we talked about how there was just maybe some mixing of terms and labels.
Yeah, because none of this, we made all these labels up. And so I was like, I don't know what it is, but my gender and my sexuality is different than what people think, or different than what I thought it was going to be, or queer, right? We talked about queer and what that even means.
Exactly. I don't even know what folks would say. You could probably look it up. But for me, queer is like not in the box. I used to think I was lesbian maybe because I was like, oh, I do like women, but I was like, no, I don't like only women. So then I was like, oh, maybe I'm bi, but then I was like, I think there's stuff that falls in between and outside of bi. And so then I said I was pansexual, and then I think I picked up omnisexual, and now I'm just like, I'm a queer lady. I'm queer. I'm out of the box. I don't know what I like everything.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I was bisexual at one point. I remember saying like, I don't know, maybe one day I'll marry a man.
I didn't want to do that. I've been engaged a couple times to men, but it was the commitments. I was in a domestic partnership with a woman before you, which we called a marriage because at that time that was probably as close to marriage as we thought we would get. And then I, got married to you, and for me, I didn't want to be with a cis man. I
didn't want it. I just was leaving that option open for anyone in my life who felt like that's what they wanted for me.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing, isn't it? It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But I know I'm queer now. I'm queer than a $2 bill.
Hush
That's
your
not queer.
face. I don't
a
even.
$3 bill.
I don't even know what you're about to say right now. We're a very proud queer couple.
Yeah.
And, we made it a point last time to name that because I do think if you know us and you know our journey, then you're like, yes, that's a queer couple. But if you meet us, you probably don't have all, if you meet us now.
Yeah, and to that point of people knowing us and seeing us as a queer couple, and even watching my transition, I feel like there are some people who like see, recognize, and like understand that maybe pronouns have shifted or identities have shifted. And I feel like there are other folks who see our journey and still may view us as a lesbian couple, right? Yeah. And so it's just funny to me, like what we know about who we are and how we're evolving, and what I imagine other folks who are seeing from the outside are trying to understand. So for the record, I am trans. He, him.
He, him.
He, him.
Yeah. Yeah, because, and that's something we could talk about too, like the ways that your transition has, kind of impacted our relationship. Because there are times when one, I want to own that I've been on my own journey to being able to be very comfortable speaking and naming things, because I'm a human and I'm imperfect. And so I remember, you might not know it, but like the initial misgendering, that was so hard for me. And I think I felt shame and embarrassment of like, I should be better at this. And that was a journey and a process. And I appreciate you being so like open and honest about the times when it was painful and hurtful, and also giving me grace.
I feel like that's been my life's mission, is to give grace on this journey as folks are trying to figure it out, because I'm still figuring it out. And I know that, like, this is a thing. Gender is a...
It is. And when you start adding testosterone to your body... This is something I've always wanted.
Where you going?
I'm about to invite this. If you're listening to this and you are a partner of a trans man and you want to have a conversation with a woman who is also partnered with a trans man, I would really invite that, because sometimes what I want is space to talk about how your transition impacts me. Right. And I feel like I can't do that with you. It's not appropriate. Right.
Well, we've done some of that, but there are some things that I think you got to do over there with your people, and I got to do over here with my people. And that's cool. We are two individuals.
Yeah. So it's funny. So you like, where you going? I keep bringing it back to you. Clearly, my journey is something that I just haven't centered it. I've just kind of taken it for granted that I'm a queer person with a queer identity. Yay. My peoples know. My family, they all accept it now, but that wasn't always the case. And so maybe that's what I need to do, is actually take some time to write out my story, tell my whole story, and then we can talk about the ways that they overlap and intersect.
Yeah. And I wonder if part of focusing on me, though, is because there's not a lot of narratives out there about Black trans masculine folks. And so wanting to like lift, and also I think because of maybe what's going on with Black men right now, right? I think we are both having a different relationship with Black manhood than we've had. And I know for me, like, this is the most that I've sort of felt like the violent implications of being a Black man in this country, right? I think I've taken it for granted. And so maybe that's as well, right? Like, there's just some ways that you want to love on me, or you want to love on, we want to love on our trans kin, right? Because there's just a lot going on.
I really appreciate you bringing that. I, of course, want to talk more about it.
And also I want yours, right? Like, we also know I want your story to be shared and shown, and you've had your own process outside of me, right? Like, you had a whole ass life before me, you got a whole ass life with me, we got whole ass lives. And so being able to,
Cool. I'm excited to continue to explore it, continue to share openly with y'all, but also I want to make sure that I kind of think through certain things. Like, I want to talk about some of the imperfections in the relationships along the way, because those have been so pivotal. Like the moments when I felt like my community like showed up for me, and then other times when I felt like I kind of didn't get the support I really, really needed. And so figuring out how to talk about some of that stuff. As I've said before, talking about the positive stuff is so easy for me. When we get to the more difficult, vulnerable pieces, the parts that are more painful, I'm like, now you speak.
Yeah, well, we got plenty of time to get into that, and I'm here with you, so
I appreciate
when
it.
it's uncomfortable, I got you.
I know.
I got you, baby.
Why does homophobia exist? we shouldn't go there. We should wrap. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
But for real, why homophobia? But
for real,
yeah.
But
Why transphobia? Why racism? Why sexism? Why? And also, I love you. And
I love you too. And thank you for allowing me to just be, because I do feel very much like sometimes I do ask you questions and push you forward. I never want that to feel like outing you.
Yeah.
And so thank you for continuing to have the conversations that we're having. And yeah, I'm enjoying this. Is so fun, y'all.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in a
Yeah.
week.
Mm-hmm.
But we're sending you love and light,
and light from our couch to your heart.
Today was a good one, right?
Bye.